Four Barrel family, welcome back. Coach Zach here for Friday, May 15th Skill Strength. I hope everybody had an amazing active and/or rest day yesterday on Thursday. Today we are going to be hitting 3 rounds, 10 tempo RDL, followed by 14 alternating pike shoulder tap. You may remember these RDL from last week during deload week. We're still going to go ahead and touch on those right now. If you have a barbell or an odd object or a heavy dumbbell or kettlebell, you will be using both hands at the same time and completing 10 total reps. If you have a single dumbbell or single kettlebell that's light enough for you to do it one arm at a time, you'll do 5 per side. Big things that we are focusing on here, starting in our setup, we're gonna pretend that this 20-pound dumbbell is heavy enough for me to hold it with both hands. Soft bend in those knees, and then from here, I'm gonna pull those shoulder blades back, I'm gonna send those hips back, and I'm gonna go down as far as I can while keeping my back flat and just that soft bend in my knee. For me, this is how far I can go for my hamstring mobility to stay activated without me having to slowly round that lower back. You should be able to tell that right here. So if you start to feel that low back disengage, no worries on that next rep. Stop just short of that point. We're gonna go down on every single rep for 3 seconds. So again, soft bend in the knees, shoulders are back down for 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to squeeze to stand with my hamstrings and glutes. And that is the second point of performance for this. Notice as I go down, when I pause, my hips are gonna stay right here. As I start to come up, I'm engaging those hamstrings and those glutes. What I'm not doing is driving my knees forward to stand. So I get down in this position, I screw my feet into the floor, squeeze my glutes, and it's not until this halfway point right here where my hips start to come forward. So just make sure once you find the bottom of that RDL, you're activating through those hamstrings and glutes to stand back up. For those 14 alternating pike shoulder taps, you guys can use a couch, a coffee table, a box if you have one, probably the 3rd step on your staircase. We're gonna put those feet up on that surface. We are going to inchworm back as far as we can, getting in that good pike position. Head goes through those shoulders, and from here, I'm gonna come up, and I'm gonna knock out 14 of those alternating shoulder taps. Couple things. You'll notice as I'm doing that, my hips are shifting just a little bit. That's okay, I'm just balancing over that shoulder, all right? Couple things we wanna really focus on. Keep that back nice and flat. We don't wanna spill forward or really start to arch those hips forward. And then active fingers. It's gonna be really hard for you guys to see that in this video. So I'm gonna come a little closer. If I use my hand, I want you guys to notice, we're gonna imagine this is the floor. My hands aren't just flat as I'm doing those handstands or that piked hold. Instead, I've got what are called active fingers. So you'll notice I'm squeezing those fingertips into the ground to balance. Remember, anytime we're doing any handstand work, our fingers are gonna act like our toes. You're not gonna walk, run, or jump with your toes pulled up off the ground. You're gonna dig those guys into the ground for stability. So do the same thing with those hands. One more time, we're gonna start in, have a good plank on the elevated surface, walk those hands in as far as we're comfortable. From here, I'm gonna actively squeeze those fingers into the ground. I'm gonna press and touch. 14 of those alternating pike shoulder taps, 4 rounds. Hope you guys have fun. See you back in a few minutes for our Metcon.